All right, good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. You're watching me do the puzzles. We're going to do the connections puzzle, the mini crossword, the Wordle, and then we're going to play the Strands and the letterboxed. Just really fun ones. We're doing kind of a test this morning to see if a little less latency completely crashes my computer. So we'll to be determined whether this is the right settings on my computer. Sadly, I have very pitiful internet, and so I want to be able to stream with you, and despite having kind of pretty terrible stats on my streams, am I able to I'm watching it, and so far so good, so I don't know, we'll cross our fingers. So maybe the chat will come in real time now instead of a delay. We'll see. I don't know. It's called low latency. We'll see if that fixes anything. Some of our streaming issues. Who knows? What really fix it is just to have a better internet connection. We had a really fun morning already, right? My alarm went off. Isn't that weird? I'm in spring break and I still set my alarm. I don't know. I'm just an early bird. But I sat outside. One of our spring break projects was to clean. We have like a handheld wand steam cleaner. One of our projects this last couple days was to clean the couch cushions on the outside patio furniture with our Biden bucks during COVID. Well, it wasn't Biden bucks. Let's see, what was that? That was just like the COVID relief fund they gave everybody. With some of that money, we ended up buying some patio furniture just to kind of be together more in the backyard, and we got ourselves this pretty nice patio set, and it ended up that last year, or over the winter this year, a rat or a mouse or something found its way in there and just kind of, pooped everywhere and stuff. It was so gross. Anyway, so we cleaned it, but then we had to fully sanitize it, scrub it down. And so we finally did that yesterday and the day before. It took a while, all the pillows and the seat cushions and stuff. But we finally have this gorgeous couch back that we can sit in. And so the last couple mornings, I have this sort of ritual of just sort of sitting out there with my kids. And last night we enjoyed the sun going down. Hey, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, we're trying to see if the chat is happening in real time now instead of a delay. So, yeah. Let's see. Laviok. That's cool. Well, welcome. Yeah, let's dive in. Let's do the puzzles. It's just been really nice to sort of sit outside now that we have this patio furniture sanitized from kind of neglect. All right, I see a couple of short words here. Dog, pop, ball, sock, slug, frog, glove, trot, bat, hound, globe, pound, orb, newt, hole, and sphere. Okay, so the first things that stood out, I see sphere, orb, globe, and I guess ball. But a ball could also be ball, glove, bat. Huh. Let's try it like this. Okay, it is. Round three-dimensional object. So I was thinking ball, glove, and bat, but I don't see a third one like that. Sometimes they put in kind of these red herrings that you think it's one thing when it's actually another. Let's see. What else do we see? To sock, to pound, to slug, and to pop. These are like punching. Yeah, to punch. Oh, we're doing it in color order too. Yellow is the easiest, and then green is the second easiest. I had it in my head it was the other way around, that green was the easiest, but no. Yellow is the easiest. And I learned on April Fool's Day, somebody was like, "Oh, it's the yellow one first." I'm like, "No way, it's not." They're trying to April Fool's me. Okay, so let's see. Newt. Frog. The Fox and the Hound. Toad and Newt. Or Toad and Frog, I guess. Newt. Cat and Dog. How are these related to each other? And a bat? I don't know. I'm just throwing an answer out there. Oh, it is right. Animals in the witch's brew in Macbeth. I would not have. What? Hound. Oh, what did you say? Hound, bat, frog, dog. Well, this one, yeah, it's funny how they're related to each other. It's like sometimes you look at it and you're like, how on earth are these related to each other? The witch's brew in Macbeth. That's pretty niche. I haven't read Macbeth since high school, and I haven't seen the play of Macbeth ever, actually, because in stage they have a superstition against Macbeth. I don't know if you know that, but you can't say the word Macbeth in a theater. It's super it's superstitious, right? It's unlucky. I don't know why, but and most people people that are like, oh, I'm not superstitious, but they will believe in that one. Because like things go bad. Somebody at the high school thought, oh, I'd be funny and just say the word. And my friend, the stage crew teacher, was like, no, you can't say that. And then like the same day, somebody like broke their wrist or something, and chalk it up to coincidence. I don't know, but people don't like saying Macbeth in a theater. I can say it here in a live stream because that doesn't carry over. But all right, now how are these related? Glove, hound, hole, and trot. Fox. Yeah, I was going to say foxtrot. Foxglove. Usually the purple is like a fill in the blank. Foxglove, foxhole, foxhound, and foxtrot. Foxtrot is a dance, and it's the letter F in the NATO alphabet. Cool. Your vocabulary isn't... No, it's okay. I have found that a lot of people that are not from the U.S. watch me play because I think it helps sort of develop the English vocabulary. So I think you're in the right place, honestly, to be watching this live stream, and you're like, oh, he says that word in a different way than I thought he would say that word. Like, so you learn how to pronounce, but you also learn new vocabulary, which is really neat. So yeah, I actually have lots of people that watch my live streams that are just learning English. It's kind of neat. I love learning things about other languages too. I know, of course, English, but my second language is Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. And then if I were to say I have a third language, I don't really, but it's Spanish. When I speak Spanish, it's more just like Portuguese with a filter of Spanish. It's kind of funny to talk with kids. There are a lot of kids that speak Spanish in the school, in the school, but I'll attempt to communicate with them. I just actually yesterday, there's another funny story. I was at where were we at? Costa Vida. Really cool, like Mexican, kind of pseudo-Mexican, more like American Mexican food. And then he was like, okay, what do you want on it? Do you have rice and beans and all the like fixings and toppings? And I said, con todo. And he looked at me like, what? Why would you say that? Like in my language? Why would you say that in my language? It was really funny. All right. Doing the mini crossword today. Word after cheap as or old as. Cheap as dirt. Old as dirt. Maybe old as dirt. Sean Blank, director who won 4 Oscars for Honora. See, I never saw Honora. Sean, that could be anybody. Sean Bean, Sean Penn, Shaun of the Dead. I don't know. Oh, my daughter will love this. She was in Annie. It's a Hard Knock Life musical. This is Annie. Pastry at a tea shop. This is a biscuit. This is a crumpet. This is a... there's a lot of pastries that could be there. I don't know. We'll come back. Works on a quilt, perhaps. Either sews or knits. I'll say sews. We might change it later. Never give a sword to a man who can't... Oh, who can't dance. I think I've heard that one before. If you can't dance, you can't fight. You don't need to tell me. I know. You don't need to tell me. I know. Straps for a horseback rider. Is that how you spell it? R-E-I-N? Reins? Grab the reins. One might be shady. Oh, maybe a tree? A tree. Big mouth Billy blank singing animatronic fish. That is Billy Bass. I love the little song they give you when you do the puzzle. I helped my daughter with the puzzle, and she was like, let me put in the last word. I want to hear the music. All right. Word after cheap as or old as dirt. Old as dirt. Sean Baker, director who won 4 Oscars for Honora. I didn't see it. I don't know. I bet it was a good movie because it won a bunch of awards. It's a Hard Knock Life musical. Annie. Pastry at a tea shop, a scone. Works on a quilt, perhaps, sews. You sew a quilt. Never give a sword to a man who can't dance, says Confucius. You don't need to tell me, I know. Strap for a horseback rider, the reins. I thought there was a G in there somewhere, but maybe not. R-E-I-N-S. One might be shady. A tree. A tree gives you shade. And then big mouth Billy Bass. That's funny. And then, look at our streak. We've got 57 days under our belt for the Wordle. That's pretty cool. Okay. Trying to think of an opening move. What about, like, chain? I don't have, like, a go-to word every time. I just sort of, like, throw a word out there and see what happens. Okay, and 2 helpful letters. We got an H in the correct place, and we got an A somewhere. I would love to know if maybe it's an SH or a PH or a TH even. So let's try coming up with a non-intersecting word, a word that doesn't use any of those first 5 letters. Okay, that is all new letters. Let's see if that helps at all. Okay, so, oh, wow. That's not how I thought it was going to happen. I knew there would be a T, but not at the end. Well, I didn't know there would be a T. I knew there would be one of these connecting letters. That's why I guessed an S, a P, and a T. I knew for a fact one of those would be on there, but I didn't think it'd be at the end. That's interesting. Okay, can we come up with another non-intersecting word? Like... Oh, here's one. Globe. I haven't used any of those letters yet. A little bit of help. Is there something I'm missing? Is there a word that could go like blank H? H. I know where H is on the keyboard. I saw it in the top left of the puzzle, so I typed. That's so funny. And then maybe E, A, T. But maybe it's not E, A, T. what if it's like AH, like ahead, you know? We've already tried all those letters that go with H. That's why I'm thinking that it's like vowel H. Or have we? Or have we? Because look, W. WH. Oh. What if it's wheat? Okay, wait a minute. So H goes there, T goes there. A and E need to go somewhere else, so we flip-flop. I wonder. That's so funny. I guessed all of the letters. Well, what I thought was all of the letters that would go with an H, right? SH, PH, even CH, and TH. And the T didn't go at the beginning. It went at the end, which surprised me a little bit. If it was yellow, I would have probably kept guessing TH words, and it's not TH. So knowing that, I tried, another third non-intersecting word that doesn't use any of those previous 10. And there was an E, so E and A are in the wrong place. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what? Nothing else goes with an H. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. The W. The W. Shout out to all of my gluten intolerant friends. My heart goes out to you. There's so many good, delicious wheat-based foods. My daughter, we were actually at that restaurant where I ordered part of my meal in Spanish, and it took the guy by surprise. We were sitting down and eating, and my daughter was like, you know what? The main food groups are wheat and meat. Like, I think it's a little more complicated than that, but she was like, yeah, but those are my favorite ones, wheat and meat. So the if you ever ask her, what are the main food groups, she'd say wheat, meat. Oh, and the third one, of course, cheese. Wheat, meat, and cheese. So if you're gluten intolerant, I feel for you. If you're lactose intolerant or just like dairy intolerant in general, you don't have to just be lactose intolerant. You could be, what do you call it? Allergic to the casein or there's a couple of things that sadly people are just some of the proteins in there that cause a histamine reaction. But my daughter said yesterday that the 3 food groups are wheat, meat, and cheese. And maybe green stuff. I don't know. Wouldn't that be nice? Throw some green stuff in there too. No, my kids are actually really good at enjoying the greens. We have salad all the time. In fact, we went to this place, Costa Vida. If you've ever been, they have kind of little child-sized meals. They're only like $5. And you can have this child meal, and it's a taco or an enchilada or a, whatever. You get them as different things, a quesadilla. And I always ask them, can you put salad on top? And they always look at me like, you want a kid's meal with salad on top? Are you crazy? And we're like, yeah, like we're like probably the only people that have kids that eat salad. I don't know. They eat what I cook, I'm not a short order cook. I'm not going to change the meal just because one kid doesn't like something. They learn to eat it. And if it's something they don't like, then maybe we won't do it again, but we will eat what I cook. So my wife, it's so fun. My wife cooks, I cook. The kids love to help. It's really neat. So on a day that I'm kind of exhausted, then my wife does cooking, and then on a day that she's exhausted, I can do cooking, and then a day that we're both exhausted, one of us just kind of bucks up and does it. Today's theme in the Strands puzzle is that's quite a tasty mouthful. Quite a tasty mouthful. There are 5 words. One of them is the spangram, and so the spangram goes all the way across, either up and down, left and right. So really there are 4 words. So these must be giant words. These are like right there, like huge words. Only 5 words plus a spangram. So if you've never played Strands before, it's kind of like a word search, and I'd love your help if you see anything stand out. Dive in and offer a suggestion. But see if you can find kind of some things that come together here. Like, I almost feel like I see the word avocado. I don't feel like it fits, though. Maybe I'm starting the wrong place. Avocado. There it is. Avocado. I had it going the wrong direction. Using the wrong letters. If you see anything, shout it out. Because I would love your help. I love looking in corners, too. Sometimes corners give it away, right? Like, I see A-R-E, care. O-W-E-R, cauliflower. Okay. That's quite a tasty mouthful. I actually don't love cauliflower. I shouldn't say that. I'm warming up to it. It's not that I didn't like it or anything. Hey, Mispa, how you doing? Welcome from India. Welcome from America. I'm watching from. It's fun. I have people watching from all over the world. So welcome in. That's quite a tasty mouthful. I love avocado. You can put avocado on just about anything. I've even seen avocado ice cream. Like, there's so many good things. And then cauliflower is sort of like broccoli, but it's like bleach white and missing a lot of that delicious flavor that broccoli has. I jokingly call it counterfeit broccoli. So if you love broccoli, that's, really yummy. But then cauliflower, I put up with it. My wife loves it. So I okay. I wonder what the next one is. So if you're just joining us, it's sort of like a word search. We're trying to find words, but they snake around. It's not up, down, left, right. That's quite a tasty mouthful. Arugula. So are these like controversial foods that sometimes people don't like? So a spangram goes from left to right or up and down from one side to the other. And so no way. No way. I thought so. 4 syllables. Look at this. Avocado. Arugula. Cauliflower. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what is... Of course they're longer words. Look how long the puzzle is, right? There's only 4 words and a spangram. 4 syllables. Oh, look at that. Even that is 4 syllables. Clever. How about watermelon? Watermelon. 4 syllable mouthfuls. That's funny. 4 syllable foods. I see watermelon, avocado, cauliflower, and arugula. I thought they all had something to do with each other. Yeah. Bree, it's a really fun puzzle. It's sort of like a word search, but they don't give you the answers. You just have to sort of like snake around and see where the letters go together. And they give you a theme, but the theme doesn't always fully like make sense until you unravel it. You start finding words and you're like, oh, I see what they're trying to get at here, But it takes a while to sort of like unlock that. Yeah, we did great. Okay, so another one that looks challenging, but is actually really fun, is this guy right here, the letterboxed. So, letterboxed, we're trying to... Look at that. Okay, so you guys, I'm sorry. It was like this yesterday. I'm going to fix it today. Okay, hold on. Where's that? I'm going to solve it in so many words. And you need to be able to see it. That's silly. It's covered up. Sorry, I'm just fixing things real quick in the live stream. I feel like this one actually should go. Maybe not. Okay. Maybe I need to just modify this real quick. I'm sorry. This is gonna bug me. It bugged me yesterday, and I just kind of put up with it. But now, oh, I need to add to the crop. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I'm modifying what my live stream looks like in my streaming software so that you can see it. Because it doesn't make any sense if I can't show it to you. It looked all crazy like. I'm using OBS. I don't know if you have ever tried to do a live stream, but OBS, Open Broadcast Software. There we go. It works great. Works awesome. Until they change what the website looks like. If they change what the thing you're trying to stream changes shape and size, then it doesn't work really well. Okay, so the letterbox we are trying to solve by using up all 12 of these letters, right? So we've got 12 letters here. We're trying to use them all up in this case, 6 words. Sometimes it's a little more challenging and they give you more words like this. Sometimes it's a little less challenging letters and you have to do it in, say, 4 words. The average one is 5 words. So a lot of times it's 5 words, but sometimes it's a little more challenging. You have to do it in 6, like today. And you can see there's a Q. Luckily, there's a U. You can't use 2 letters that are on the same side, one after the other. It has to bounce across. So let's kind of familiarize ourselves with it. I see an X. I see an L, a B. There's O, C, and U. I, M, Q. A, Y, and T. I'm just noticing that there's no R, there's no S, and there's no E. So I think we're in for it this one. I'm going to need your help. So if you are really good at making words, let's span across to make letters connect together. How about like quilt? Quilt, that's an okay word. That gets rid of the Q. I can't say like tax because T and A are on the same side. How about toxic? That's a good word. Toxic. So now we're on the C. And you are allowed to reuse letters. So if you see... How about symbol? No way. Oh my gosh, we just did it in 3. We just did it in 3. We had to do it in 6 today, and we did 3 words. That's awesome. Okay, now that I've kind of reoriented this, I'm going to reorient it one more time because I can't see what the heck I said. There we go. I want it to show up right above my head there. So that one needs to go a little higher. And maybe I'll just trim off the top of that one really quick. Hold on. Transform, edit. Hope you don't mind that I'm changing this kind of on the fly while we're doing the puzzle. Just in the middle of it. Okay, close. Move that around. And move that around. Cool. So now we can actually see the words that I used. Okay, so we started with the word quilt, and that got rid of the Q. And then the T led us to toxic. And we got the X out of the way, thank goodness. And then symbol, I needed the Y, so the C led us to symbol, like drum symbol. Not symbols like symbology. It's symbol like play the drums, bang on the drums. Cool. Well, actually, I'm kind of surprised how quickly we did that puzzle. That was a pretty fast one. All right, let's just recap. Let's see how we did. Round three-dimensional objects. Those are ball, globe, orb, and sphere in the connections puzzle today. We did it in intended order, too. Look at that. We did the yellow, and then the green, and then the blue, and then the purple. I always had it in my head that the yellow was the second one. The green was the easiest. But no, it's the other way around. The yellow is the easiest one, or should be the easiest one. Yesterday, I got them almost in reverse order. I got the purple one first. I think a lot of people did, actually. So the green category was punch, to pop, pound, slug, or sock. Animals in the Witch's Brew and Macbeth. I feel like this one maybe should have been the purple category. This is the more tricky category. Bat, dog, frog, and newt. See, I haven't read Macbeth or seen the play or anything in a long, long time. All right, and then purple is often a fill in the blank, right? Fox blank, foxglove, foxhole, foxhound, and foxtrot. Nice. Okay, in the mini crossword today, we started at the top with words after cheap, or word after cheap as or old as. Old is dirt, cheap is dirt. Sean Baker, director who won 4 Oscars for Honora. That keeps coming up in puzzles, so I wonder if it's worth seeing. Right, Honora. Some people have. I have heard nothing about it, but apparently it's won Oscars, so it's got to be good, I guess. It's a Hard Knock Life musical. Annie. Pastry at a tea shop. That's a scone. Works on a quilt, perhaps. Sews. Never give a sword to a man who can't dance. I like that. You don't need to tell me. I know. Straps for a horseback rider. The reins. One might be shady, a tree. And then Big Mouth Billy Bass singing animatronic fish. My grandpa had one. I remember going to visit his house, and it was in his hallway, and he'd push the button, and it would really startle me. It would always take me by surprise. It's just a tiny kid, you know, those funny things that are like totally innocent but kind of scare you as a child. That was one of mine. Big Mouth Billy Bass. I was always freaked out by the one my grandpa had. All right. In the Wordle today, I've been starting off with pretty lucky words. I started with the word chain, which had an H in the correct place and then an A somewhere. And then I thought, all right, well, if it's not CH, then maybe it's SH or PH or TH. And so I guessed a word that had all 3 of those and didn't use any of those previous ones. I call it a non-intersecting word. So there's my non-intersecting word, chain, to spurt. And then spurt led us to the T, gave us the T at the end. And then I tried globe, a third non-intersecting word. I knew probably it didn't use any of those letters, so I just wanted to kind of knock out some of the options. And I'm thinking, well, gosh, if it's not SH or PH or TH, what is it then? Well, of course, there's one more that could go with H, maybe the WH. So I tried wheat, because I alternated the A and the E, and that worked just fine. I do love doing the Wordle. It's just a fun one. Okay, and then the Strands, this funny word search that we did. That's quite a tasty mouthful. The theme doesn't always fully make sense right at the beginning. That's quite a tasty mouthful. And if there were only 5 answers and four of the words, and then one is a spangram, these must be huge words. And sure they are. I mean, that's part of the theme, right? It's quite a tasty mouthful. Each of these is 4 syllables. You can see the spangram going across there, 4 syllables. Watermelon, avocado, cauliflower, and arugula. That's funny. It's a good way to do that puzzle. Okay, and then I had to kind of reset everything in this puzzle, and as soon as I scroll even just a tiny bit, it kind of messes up the entire layout. So I have to sort of leave my layout the way it is. And I guess the New York Times also has to leave their layout the way it is, or else my thing doesn't work anymore. So it's a delicate balance. It's a delicate balance to do my puzzle here. But we make it work. It's pretty fun. So in the letterboxed, we had to do it in 6 today. There it is. You can see it, 6. And I did it in 3. Pretty cool. So we started with the word quilt to get rid of the Q. And then the T led us to toxic to get rid of the X. And then the other tricky letter was Y. And we were on a C. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Symbol. I'm a drummer, so I love, any reference to my art form. That's pretty cool. So we played the word symbol there. Awesome. Well, thanks for a great stream. Thanks for playing along with me. Right? It's so fun to sort of try and figure out these puzzles. If you like what you saw, I do one of these every day. Pretty much every day I'm on here. We're during spring break right now, so it's going to be during the morning. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for your help. If you like it, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.